So I often hear that there is a myth that goes around that the government will receive all of your estate if you die without a will. This isn't 100% accurate, so I thought today that I would discuss what actually happens if you die without a will in New Zealand. So firstly, the size of your estate will need to be determined. If you have less than $15,000 worth of assets in any one place, then your next of kin can distribute your estate. If, however, you have $15,000 of assets or more, then you will have to apply, somebody would have to apply to be appointed as an administrator to then be able to distribute your assets. This is quite an onerous job, so it needs to be someone that actually has time, and it's helpful if they understand business, law, tax, and all those kinds of things. And able to deal with conflict. We often find that at a time of grief, a lot of conflict can arise, especially when it comes to the distribution of assets. The process in applying to the court to have a grant of letters of administration can be very time consuming and can cost the estate a lot of money. So if an application to the courts is successful, then the administrator will be able to start distributing the estate in accordance with the Administration Act. They'll also be able to start taking care of other matters like closing accounts and paying tax, etc. So what actually happens when your administrator needs to distribute the assets in accordance with the Act? So here are some common scenarios. If you have a spouse, no parents and no children, then that's quite easy. In accordance with that Act, your spouse will receive your whole estate. If you have a spouse and children, the spouse receives your personal effects, well, that's like your clothing, your jewelry, and those types of things. They also receive $155,000 worth of assets, and then 1/3 of the remaining of your estate. Your children would then share equally in the remaining 2/3 of your estate. Then, if you had a spouse and parents but no children, your spouse again would receive your personal effects, $155,000 worth of assets, and then 2/3 of the remaining estate. Your parents then share equally in the remaining 1/3 of your estate. As you can imagine, scenarios 2 and 3 could cause some issues where you actually believe that your spouse would inherit your entire estate, but in fact your children or your parents would benefit from this. If you have blended families, this definitely complicates this process, but it's something that we can answer questions about if you would like. So this process would be made a lot easier if you had made a will. So when you make a will, you get to choose who distributes your assets and manages your affairs upon your death. You get to choose where your assets are distributed, and then it would also save your estate a lot of money and a lot of time.